6, 7 years old, I couldn't find it anymore. I was still singing good, but I wasn't connecting with it. And as a result of it, I kept getting more empty and empty in my heart.
Steve Perry is an American singer and songwriter. He can play drums, keyboard, bass, and guitar. He's best known as the lead singer of the rock band Journey from 1977 to 1987, and again from 1995 to 1998. The two most successful periods of the band. Between the mid-'80s and mid-'90s, Perry also had a successful solo career. In the 2000s, his appearances were very irregular, and he wasn't very active, but in 2018, he returned to making music full-time. Perry's voice has been highly praised by his fellow musical peers, and he's been called The Voice, a nickname which was previously owned by Jon Bon Jovi.
I had to literally just walk away with it and I guess turn my heart off about to half to keep walking because it was too much of a draw to fall back in.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Stephen Ray Perry, but he's also known as The Voice. He was born January 22nd, 1949 in Hanford, California, making him 72 at the time of this production. He stands 5'7" or 1.71 meters tall. In his free time, Perry enjoys going to movies, baseball games, the fair, or on road trips. He enjoys singing a bit here and there, especially in the shower or in his car. He loves to have a cup of black coffee in the morning. Another thing he enjoys is obsessing over extravagant cars. Perry owns a dog, Linda, who stays with his family. She's old and requires a lot of care now. At Perry's place, he has 2 cats. As of 2015, Steve Perry has publicly confirmed 2 previous relationships with Sherry Swafford and Kelly Nash. Perry's relationship with Swafford began in the 1980s, during his time with the band Journey. Oh Sherry remains his biggest solo hit, written by Perry for his then-girlfriend Sherry Swafford. But the relationship didn't bloom as anticipated. Due to Journey touring demands and success, the couple ended the relationship. In a lengthy blog post in June 2013, Perry wrote that he had fallen in love with psychologist and breast cancer survivor Kelly Nash in 2011. Perry was by Nash's side as she battled a cancer recurrence, and she died in December 2012. In 2015, Perry revealed that he dated Kelly Nash for nearly 2 years before she passed away from breast cancer. As of 2018, Perry has never been married again and is still single with no kids. In one of his recent interviews, Perry has said that he isn't unhappy being single as he can devote time to his first love, music.
Oh no, there's just something about her. And so we talked a bit. She said, I'll send an email, but I should tell you something first. It came back and she's fighting for her life. It's in her lungs and her bones.
Stephen Ray Perry was born in Hanford, California, to Portuguese parents from the Azores. He's an only child. Perry grew up interested in music as his father, Raymond Perry, was a vocalist and co-owner of radio station KNGS. Perry's parents ended their relationship when he was 8 years of age, and he and his mother then moved to his grandparents' dairy farm. On Perry's 12th birthday, his mother, Mary, presented her son with a gold 8th note pendant. Perry wears the pendant for good luck. At age 12, Perry heard Sam Cooke's song Cupid on his mother's car radio, and it inspired him to become a singer. Perry's family moved to nearby Lemoore, California during Perry's teen years. He attended high school there, drumming in the marching band as well as in extracurricular bands. After graduation, he attended College of the Sequoias in Visalia, California, where he sang first tenor in the choir. Perry's mother was his biggest encouragement in his musical growth during that time. In his early 20s, Perry moved to Sacramento to start a band with 16-year-old future music producer Scott Matthews. That band, Ice, wrote original material and were poised to make it in the music business. During the day in 1972, they recorded at the Record Plant Studios in Los Angeles. Upon returning to Sacramento, Ice disbanded as the band had no management. Matthews was still in high school, and the recordings went virtually unheard. In 1975, Perry moved to Thousand Oaks, California, where he formed a progressive rock band called Pieces with Tim Bogert, Denver Cross, and Eddie Teduri. After a year and a half, the group was unable to secure a record deal and disbanded. Perry then ended up in Banta, California, where he fronted the band Alien Project in his mid-20s. He nearly gave up on music when the bassist of that band, Richard Michaels, was killed in an automobile accident. Perry returned to Lemoore and decided not to continue his singing career, but at the urging of his mother, he answered a call from Walter Herbie Herbert, manager of a struggling San Francisco-based band, Journey. Original Journey organizer/manager Walter Herbie Herbert had been given a demo of an Alien Project song, If You Need Me, Call Me, and was told by producer Scott Matthews that the young singer would be a great replacement for then-current frontman Robert Fleischman. Perry was brought on tour and, to avoid alarming Fleischman, was referred to as a roadie's Portuguese cousin. During a soundcheck in Long Beach, Perry secretly performed a song with Journey while Fleischman was away from the stage. Soon thereafter, Herbert informed the band members that Perry was the new lead singer. He made his public debut October 28, 1977 in San Francisco to a mixed reception. Despite some initial dislike from the band members and fans for changing the progressive rock sound of the band, Perry eventually won over new fans on his first album with the group. Infinity, which included a song he wrote called Lights, the band's style had changed dramatically, but as Journey began to gain media buzz over Infinity, Perry's arrival was fully accepted. Perry was the lead vocalist on 9 of Journey's albums: Infinity in 1978, Evolution in 1979, Departure in 1980, Dream After Dream in 1980, which was a Japanese movie soundtrack, Captured in 1980, which was a live album, Escape in 1981, which reached number 1 on the Billboard chart, Frontiers in 1983, Raised on Radio in 1986, Trial by Fire in 1996. The single Open Arms from Escape was their biggest hit single, charting at number 2 for 6 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. In 1984, following the release of Frontiers and the tour, Perry released his first solo album, Street Talk. The record sold more than 2 million units, scoring the hit singles number 3, Oh Sherry, written for his then-girlfriend Sherry Swafford, and number 18, Foolish Heart. The music video for Oh Sherry was also very successful on MTV. Journey disbanded in 1987 after the Raised on Radio tour. In 1988, Perry began to work on another solo album, Against the Wall, which he ultimately left unfinished, but several of the songs that were recorded later appeared on Perry's 1998 solo compilation, Greatest Hits plus 5 Unreleased. A year later, on April 30th, 1989, Perry joined Bon Jovi to perform Sam Cooke's Bring It On Home to Me and the Four Tops' Reach Out. He would also reunite with Journey at the Bill Graham tribute concert, Laughter, Love, and Music, on November 3rd, 1991, at Golden Gate Park in San Francisco, performing Faithfully and Lights. Other than those 3 events, however, Perry mostly disappeared from the public eye for 7 years, taking a break from the music industry in 1994. Perry released For the Love of Strange Medicine, his second solo effort. The album was successful, partly due to the world tour. Journey's classic 1981 to 1985 lineup reunited in 1996 to record Trial by Fire. The album was a huge success, entering the Billboard charts at number 3 before going platinum by year's end. But its triumph was short-lived. Before the tour could begin, Perry suffered a hip injury and was unable to perform. So Perry wanted to postpone the tour. The remaining members waited until 1998, nearly 17 months after Perry's injury, before making a decision on Journey's future. Growing impatient, Journey members Jonathan Cain and Neil Schon met with Perry. They presented him with an ultimatum. If he did not undergo hip replacement surgery so the tour could proceed upon his recovery, the band would hire a replacement singer. Still hesitant to undergo surgery, and now upset at his bandmates, Perry announced that he was permanently leaving Journey. Perry released the Greatest Hits plus 5 unreleased compilation album on December 15, 1998. Also in 1998, Perry recorded 2 songs for the Warner Brothers film Quest for Camelot, which can be found on the motion picture soundtrack. Perry was a principal songwriter for most of Journey's songs throughout his tenure with the band, as well as his solo efforts. These efforts led to a nomination to the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2020.
This all for naught. And, you know, that was the biggest statement. Of course, I said, I promise, but I want to make clear, it wasn't like we weren't living our lives and going places and doing things.
Steve Perry hasn't been the lead singer of Journey for 23 years, but it turns out he still makes a ton of money when they go on tour. Basically, he co-owned the rights to the name Journey along with Neil Schon and Jonathan Cain. He relinquished these rights when he quit, but got a lot in return. For their first 2 tours without him, he got 50% of what Neil or John made, whichever was higher. Then he got 25% for their 3rd tour and 12.5% for every tour after that. That includes any profits they've made from ticket sales, merchandise, and sponsorships. Steve Perry earns a total of around $8 million every year and around $21,000 every day. Steve Perry's net worth is $60 million. Perry owns a house in Del Mar, California, where he currently lives. It's a 3-bedroom house with a huge garden and a spacious living room. Steve Perry has a Mercedes, and he also drives a Harley Sportster motorcycle. He enjoys riding a lot.